Let's look today at some vintage school and office pencils. Hello everyone. If you thought nothing could exceed the excitement and joy produced by finding vintage, unused pencils, you would be wrong. Because when you find vintage, unused pencils in a vintage box, that turns the excitement level up to 11. For me, anyway. What we're looking at today is this lovely, joy-inducing, happy yellow box. All new, finest quality lead pencils, Bondexed. Smoother writing, 4 times stronger. Doesn't say stronger than what, but I suppose 4 times stronger than other pencils which are 1/4 the strength. Fine Bondexed lead pencils, a half gross, made in USA. Degree, I suppose, was supposed to be marked here, but they marked it over there. It's a number 2. Statesmen is the model of pencil we're looking at. But notice nowhere on this box is there a manufacturer listed. I assume this means, like a lot of school and office pencils, these would have been kind of the common lowest pencils on the totem pole, manufactured in massive numbers to be distributed by a office supply distributor to schools and offices around the nation, and would have been used for several manufacturers to distribute their lower end common office pencils. So nothing on the box to tell us who made these. You can see there are lots of them in here, and if that doesn't spark joy, I don't know what does. Always pleased when I can find a dozen pencils with at least one spare to try, because I don't like to break up the dozen. But here we have 4 or 5 dozen, 60 pencils, plus an additional 2 that I can try without worrying too much about breaking up the set. These are all the same from what I can tell. Don't see any variations. They are all number 2. They are all Statesmen pencils. Nothing on the inside of the box talks of a manufacturer either. Set that to the side for a moment while we look at these office pencils. So we have Statesman in a gold imprint. We have a curious glyph there. Some type of floral or something. I'm not sure what that is. My eyes aren't that great. Maybe you can figure out what that represents. We have 800, presumably the model number. We have made in USA. Number 2 with kind of a curious design around it. Also all of this in gold foil. More like a coppery gold, I would say, lest my eyes deceive me. We have a ferrule that appears, yep, it is glued on, pressed and glued, rather than crimped, so there's no ugly puncture wounds at the pencil end or the eraser end. We have a very standard pink eraser on a pencil of this type. And there's a colored band here on the ferrule. Gives it kind of a higher class look. I believe that's black. Near as I can tell. And again, nowhere on the pencil do I see anything indicating a manufacturer. I'm looking at the other facets of the pencil to see if there's any mark that would tell me who made these. What I find curious is they went to the trouble to make such a fine-looking pencil with a gold imprint. Everything is really well done. There are no errors here. It's a clean imprint. Kind of an upscale ferrule with a colored band pressed on, which I assume is a little more, requires a little more precision and therefore nicer equipment than crimping the ferrules on. So it seems like a higher end pencil, but packaged as if it's a common school pencil. So I'm really curious who made these, and I hope maybe someone out there will know. I wasn't able to find any info on my usual go-to site, Bob Trubby's or Truby's brand name pencils, which you should visit often if you're a pencil lover. All right, so since I have complete dozens here and a couple of spares, we've got to sharpen up at least one of these and give it a try. Let me replace this. Set this to the side. Get some paper ready. And I'll use this Deli 616B, one of my favorite sharpeners. A very clever commenter on my channel said, why don't you use a handheld, cheap, disposable sharpener to remove a lot of the wood first before you put it in your sharpener, and that saves the wear and tear on the blades. Very clever. I do that frequently. I just didn't do it for the sake of brevity on this review, which I should have used a handheld. Then I would have been able to more precisely tell the type of wood, but just looking at it, there's a red hue to it, at least on one of the slats. You can see where the slats come together. Right there. I can see it. Maybe you can, or maybe you can't. The coloring makes me think it is cedar. The smell test seems to confirm. It's a very faint smell, but I think it's cedar. So we've got a really well-made pencil. Nice imprint, nice paint job, nice ferrule, distinctive ferrule. No maker on it, and they're using nice cedar wood, so very curious. Labeled simply as school and office pencils. Let's compare it to the American standard Ticonderoga. You can see it's a much more gold or orange yellow. In terms of quality, I would have a hard time saying it's any lesser a pencil than the Ticonderoga is. And the Ticonderoga is certainly not using cedar at the point that this was manufactured. Well, this is not a USA made, so yeah, certainly not cedar. Anyway, let's give it a try and see how it writes. It's labeled as a number 2. Something about the paint job or the ferrule or the combination makes me think of the National Pencil Company's pencils that I reviewed recently, another vintage pencil set that whose name I can't remember, but it reminds me of ones made by the National Pencil Company, I think the Tennessee variant rather than the New York variant. I'm not willing to say for certain, but it wouldn't surprise me. It's made in USA, probably made in Tennessee. National Pencil Company sounds right. It's a nice smooth writer. It's a overall really good quality pencil. Let's compare that to the Ticonderoga's line. I'm going to say no real discernible difference there. That is a nice pencil for an unlabeled office pencil, where they didn't even make any mark indicating who made these on the pencil or on the box or on the sleeves. That's really nice. I would not hesitate to add a pencil like this to my rotation, keep it on my desk for the little bit of penciling that I do during the day, jotting notes to myself and whatnot. It has the look and feel of a really well-made number 2 pencil. There we have it, the USA made Statesmen 800 number 2. Thanks for watching this video. Hope to see you here again next time.